Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to remove the screen on this Lenovo Yoga model C740-15IML, right? It also says model name 81TD. Alright, anyways, for some reason this screen, it boots to the Lenovo Yoga and then the Lenovo logo, and then after that it just goes black screen, which is really weird. It works with an external monitor, so I'm gonna actually check the screen connection on both sides. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is remove the bottom cover using a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. You got 3 towards the back where the hinge are, 1 on either side, and then 4 towards the front. Okay, so again, make sure to keep these in order. If this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, or share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their device as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue removing all these screws. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. If you like my review videos or if you just want to help me out, it would help a lot if you could subscribe to that one as well. Pretty much the same profile picture but zoomed in. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and get the bottom cover off. So after you get all the screws out, we're going to carefully open this up. And then there's a little gap between the bottom cover and the palm rest there. So what I do is I get my fingernails in there, and then with both hands I'll push with my thumb on the palm rest. And we should be able to pop this. There you go, just like that. Obviously, if you don't have fingernails, you can wait till they grow out, or you can try with pry tools. I don't know, to me that's a lot more difficult. But anyways, now that we got this gap here, I'm pushing down on the palm rest portion and then pulling up with my other fingers, and I'm going to slide my fingernail along here. Again, you can use pry tools, but there we go. There are little like things that clip or slide underneath this portion, so make sure you don't just try and yank it up. Okay, then we'll go over here. Okay, so now that we got both these sides up, these parts kind of wrap over. So what you gotta do is, while you hold this up, push down in the middle. So basically you're flexing the sides upwards. And then while you do that, you can go ahead and kind of wiggle and pull this back. And there we go. There's the bottom cover. Okay, first thing we're gonna do now that we got it open is we're gonna disconnect the battery, but let's go ahead and get a thumbnail here real quick. Okay, so I'll zoom in here just so you can see. I'm pretty sure I made a video of this model before, so I'm only going to be showing the screen steps. Okay, so we're going to disconnect that. If you want, you can also disconnect the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery here. This one's a little tough, but you grab here, wiggle and pull. And if you want to reset the BIOS, you can short the 2 pins there. All right, so I'm going to leave that as is. We're going to carefully open this up again. Now that we got that open, we're going to press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. All right, this makes it a lot safer to work on. So yeah, just take those few seconds, hold the power button, and yeah, some people ask me if they need to do that. I mean, it's the same with a lot of things. You don't need to do it, but there's a lot more risk if you don't. Okay, so just spend the 15 seconds, and there you go. All right, so here's the LCD LVDS connector. I'm going to flip this latch up, and then we can kind of lift and pull this out. Okay, and I'm just gonna put it back in just to make sure it's in all the way and make sure that's down. All right, there's this little button here. You can actually access that through the bottom cover. It's the 1 key recovery button. It allows you to go to the BIOS and other things. Okay, but we don't need to do that, so we're gonna leave that alone. All right, so I'm gonna open this thing all the way out now so that we can access the bottom here. Okay, zoom out more. Okay, so now that we have access to this can be a little bit tricky to remove, but basically, obviously, again, you can use a pry tool. I just use my fingernails, so in the gap here, I'm going to kind of pull this up, and we're basically rotating it slightly because there's a clip on this side. So we're going to pull that, and then we should be able to, there you go, pop that up. All right, I don't know if you can see the clip, but anyways, then we're going to go along this bar and pull these clips out. So just, again, you can use pry tools, obviously. We'll just go around, and there we go. Then we got this one. We got to do the same thing, basically get in there and rotate it to pop this clip. Okay, so get in there, and there we go. Okay, now the little bit tricky part, these things kind of get stuck. I was trying to figure out how to get this out, because if you try and pull on it or pull on it, it's not going to come out. So the trick here, let me zoom in, is we're going to have to kind of slide it over sideways. So you have to have this side lifted up as well as this. And then you can kind of like wiggle it side to side, and you can see how it kind of has some give. After you slide it far enough, you should be able to, I'm pulling up as I'm doing that. So kind of slide it over and pull on it. And come on. This one's being difficult. I think I have to slide it more. Okay, yeah, there we go. So you have to slide it quite a bit over. Same thing with the other side. We're going to slide it over this way. It doesn't kind of go right away, so you kind of have to wiggle it side to side. And then once it slides over enough, it just pops out. Okay, and there's the clips. That's what it looks like. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Now, underneath the screen, or underneath that bezel, there are 4 little screws. These are PH0 or JIS0 screws, so we're going to remove those 4 screws. Okay. At first I wasn't going to make a video on this, but then I was realizing it was a little more complicated than I thought, so I figured I should make a video so other people can figure this out as well, and hopefully don't destroy their computer or their customers' computers. Alright, so again, we got 4 of these. And then there is some adhesive. Okay, so we removed the 4 screws here. And now we got to remove some adhesive on the little corners here. Okay, you do need a small needle nose plier or maybe tweezers, but basically you got to get in this little groove. I don't know if I can show this to make it easier to see. I don't have that much desk space to move it to get a really good angle, but basically get in there. I don't know if you can see that, this gooey thing. Okay, so you grab that and then you have to pull straight back. Okay, pull straight back like this and take it slow, because you don't want to tear this. If you tear this, your screen is going to be permanently stuck in there, or you're going to have to like destroy your screen to be able to get it out. Okay, so you just keep pulling this. Let me zoom out so you can see a little bit better, but basically we're just going to keep pulling this while it's stretched out. You grab closer, you can let this go and then keep going. Basically you want to try and keep it stretched as you pull. Okay, and then when you get closer to the end, you want to make sure that you're holding on to it, because you don't want it to slingshot or snap back and then it'll all stick to itself. And if you do that, then you're not going to have an adhesive to put back on there. Honestly, the screws alone will kind of hold it in place, but it's nice to have the thing the way it used to be. Okay, so there we go. Oh, it even stuck to itself even from just that. Okay, see, so when it sticks to itself, now we're gonna have a bit of, a bit of a pain. I don't think it's gonna all come apart, so we might have to snip some of it if it doesn't come apart. Man, yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get this apart. It's really tangled on itself. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try putting some isopropyl alcohol on it and see if that helps to help separate this thing. Sometimes adding some isopropyl alcohol or something in between will help. Oh yeah, that actually helped. Okay, but I think is it torn or something? I don't know. See, it's really difficult to get this apart once it sticks to itself, but definitely isopropyl alcohol helps. So I guess if you accidentally stick it to itself, isopropyl alcohol, and then slowly separate it even more. Oh no, it's curled on itself. Okay, so I need some more isopropyl alcohol, because if I can't get this apart, then we're definitely going to have to just cut that portion off. Although that's already more than enough adhesive, you technically don't need the entire strip, but if we can save it. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, see, there's a tear in it, so I don't want to reuse this portion, because if you do and you pull it, it's most likely just going to snap. You can see how it ripped. So we're just going to have that portion separate, okay? There we go. So we're going to throw that away. I don't need to keep that broken piece. All right, now we're going to go over to the other side and do the same thing. So since I already showed it once zoomed in, I don't need to zoom in again, but basically just get in here. Oh, this one, why is this one so much more difficult? I'm going to use my needle nose, or sorry, tweezers, because they're smaller so they can fit in this little gap better. And once you get that, you can go ahead and grab this. Most people aren't able to reuse this because it either sticks to itself or tears or whatever. But if you can, it's nice to have, especially since this one has that weird little small piece that wraps around the hinge. You can't really find that if you were to buy replacement adhesive for this. Okay, this one's good. It didn't stick to itself at all. All right, so here we go. That's what the adhesive looks like, okay? And that's what wraps around the hinge. Right, so I'm just gonna stick this hanging out of the way so we can use it later. Okay, now that we got all of that out, we're gonna go ahead and we should be able to lift the screen up to slide it down this way. So we'll go underneath, lift it slightly, and then we'll slide this down. You see I'm pulling it downwards, and hopefully now we can lift this up. Oh, it feels like it's stuck to something. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then you want to be very careful. We can kind of swing this over. And I believe this is for the digitizer cable. And then the LCD cable is here. Again, I'm just going to loosen the connector here and then reconnect it. So there's some adhesive. I can't really get you guys a really good view of this because my limited desk space, but hopefully this is good enough. Okay. So I'm going to get underneath this adhesive, the clear white or the clear portion, and peel that up. Okay, now we have access to this little latch that we can flip up and out of the way, and then we're going to kind of wiggle and pull this out. So there's the cable disconnected, also the digitizer cable. Oops, I can't even show that one. Let me zoom out. Okay, also the digitizer cable, if you want to disconnect it, is right here. You have to peel off the clear adhesive again. Okay, peel it all the way back until it's no longer over any of this. It looks like this is also adhesive. Okay, so peel that up. And then kind of grab as close as you can to the connector and pinch it with the clear piece, and you should be able to wiggle it side to side to pull that out. There we go. Okay, and here you can now see this is how the screen is. So if you get a replacement, make sure it has this little board. You can see the Lenovo part number here, ST50U37662. The screen model number is right here, B156HAN02.5. But if you get the replacement screen, make sure it has all of these little metal tabs here that slide under. Make sure it has the camera there. Make sure it has the 4 screws, because if you get one for a different model based on just the screen model itself, you're going to be in trouble. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and plug all of this back in. So basically just line it back up. Okay, this is going to be tough, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to pull that back in. This is the digitizer cable. So if for some reason you break this, your touch screen is not going to work at all. All right. Then we got the LCD cable. Actually, let me take this back out. What we're going to do first is we're going to put the adhesive back in. So, because it'll be a lot easier to do that with the screen out of the way. So we're going to go onto this side here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. So basically, because it has that little hook shape, you basically want to get that little hook shape into the groove again here. Okay. So basically get it in there. And then once you get that down in that groove, this is going to be tough, isn't it? Once you get that in there, then you kind of stick this down and then work your way up, make sure it follows this solid plastic portion. If a piece of it goes off the edge, don't worry about it too much. But yeah, and then just tuck that in. All right. Then we'll go ahead and do the other side, same thing. Okay. We'll get this around the hinge area there. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and again just follow this up. And there we go. All right, so now we got that all the way back in. Let's go ahead and get the screen back in. Okay, my customer's outside waiting. It's been taking a while. All right. Let's go ahead and get the LVDS connect, or not the LVDS, the Digitizer cable reconnected. Okay, and it helps to kind of go from both sides like that to wiggle and pull it in. There we go. That looks like it's good all the way. All right, they do have a white line here to show you how to kind of just pull it straight, lined up. Okay, then we got the LCD LVDS cable. Get that all lined up. Pull that in, click it, latch that down. Okay, and then we'll tape this back down. Now we'll flip this back over. You want to be careful not to drop it into place because we have to get the top portion in first. So make sure to get the top portion in first and push it to slide it all the way up. If there's a gap, you really don't want to drop it down. Otherwise, you're going to have to take all the adhesive out and redo the whole thing. So, okay, make sure that's good. The top is good. Then we can go ahead and lower the rest down. Okay, and then we can go ahead and push this down. Make sure all these cables are kind of tucked in the little cable routings. You don't want to accidentally smash them later when we go to put this stuff back together. Okay, we'll go ahead and get the 4 PH0 or JS0 screws back in. So get those screws back in. Just like that. All right, now that you got those 4 screws in, we're gonna go ahead and put the bezel back on. Okay, so the bezel, just make sure you make the rounded side face downwards. And it's a lot easier to get in than it was to take out. You basically tilt the top in so it's going under the screen, and then you just push it down into place. So this can go in like that. If it doesn't go, you might have to just twist it the other way. So if you tilt it too far, maybe it won't latch down. But once you get this, okay, you can see this portion will pop up and then you basically just pinch it down. All right, so, but make sure that the part goes under the screen first when you do that, okay? And this, and there we go. All right, so we got the screen all back in with the bezel. We're gonna go ahead and plug the battery back in here. So battery, obviously you just line it back up and then pinch that back into place. All right, we're gonna get the bottom cover back on. And if the screen is still having that issue, I'm pretty sure we'd have to replace the screen to fix it. Hopefully it's not a video chip issue. I kind of doubt it, but you never know because it only happens once the thing boots up, which is really weird. Okay, let me actually fold this all the way closed. Then this portion, it's a little tricky because you have to get this kind of tucked under. So you kind of have to hold all of it down while you kind of push that back, right? And then make sure there's no gap there. Once you do that, you can go ahead and click all the clips back in, and then we'll get the screws back, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And again, if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, if you can't help out that way, again, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Again, I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. If you like my review videos, all my reviews are on that one. And then if you don't really care about my review videos, but you still want to help out, yeah, just subscribe to that one. Don't enable the bell thing, and yeah, that'll help me out. I need to get that one to at least 1,000 subscribers, but it's taking quite a while, so we'll see. Anyways, I'll get the last few screws in, and then we'll power it up, see what we got. All right. I did actually pull the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery out earlier, so it's probably going to take a while to boot up, but we'll see. Right, we'll push the power button. I do see the keyboard lighting up, so yeah, but as you can see, nothing is on the screen. Okay, and then the keyboard lights turned off, so it's most likely going to be boot cycling. So I'm not going to push the power button again. It's most likely going to cycle a few times before. Oh, actually the screen's already powering on. It's like, well, it's lit up, but there's nothing on the screen. So we'll see. Oh, there we go. There's the Lenovo. It's loading. And if it's still broken, it's going to make the Windows login or the startup chime, and then it's just going to be black. I hope it's not still broken, because that was a lot of work. And then if we have to replace the screen, it's going to be pretty expensive. And sadly, it's still dead. So yeah, I'm most likely going to need a new screen. I guess I'll show the customer this one. You can at least use with a external USB-C monitor. So you can either get a USB-C adapter that lets you plug in HDMI, or you can get a monitor that supports USB-C. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully it helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.